I'm Jamie, and I'm happy you're here. In this lesson, I will speak slowly, use clear, simple sentences, repeat important ideas, so you can shadow my voice, practice your speaking, build your confidence one sentence at a time. Today, we will talk about a very useful topic: how to describe your day in English. Not just one or two short sentences. We will build full, natural stories about your day, your morning, your afternoon, your evening and night, your weekdays and your weekends, a typical day, and also yesterday. By the end of this episode, you will be able to talk about your day in English, in clear sentences, in good order, with confidence. You can listen many times, pause, and shadow my voice. Use this as your daily speaking practice. Let's begin. Part 1. Why talk about your day? Talking about your day is one of the best ways to practice English. Why? Because your day is real, it actually happens, personal, it's your life, easy to remember. You don't need to study facts. You don't need to talk about history, science, or politics. You can simply talk about what time you wake up, what you eat, whether you work, study, or stay at home, how you feel, tired, busy, relaxed, happy. This is real English. You can use it with friends, with coworkers, with teachers, with new people you meet. When you describe your day, you practice useful vocabulary, practice basic grammar, present, past, start to think in English, and speak with less translation in your head. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to try and keep going. Imagine you meet someone new. They ask, "What did you do today?" If you have practiced, you can answer easily. "I woke up at 7, I had breakfast, I went to work, answered emails, and had a meeting. In the evening, I cooked dinner and watched a movie." That is a real conversation. That is real communication. That is your goal. So, in this lesson, we will build your day step by step. Part 2. Time words for your day. Before we talk about your routine, let's learn some time words and connectors. Listen and repeat after me. You can pause after each line to shadow. Morning, afternoon, evening, night. Now some useful words. First, then, after that, later, before, finally. Now some common time phrases. At 6:30, around 7 o'clock, about 8:15, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night, before bed, after work, after class. Let's put them into simple sentences. Shadow each sentence. First, I wake up at 7. Then, I brush my teeth. After that, I eat breakfast. Later, I go to work. Before lunch, I have a meeting. After work, I go home. Before bed, I read a book. Finally, I go to sleep. These words help you tell a clear story about your day. Part 3. A typical morning. Present simple. We start with the morning because the morning sets the tone for your whole day. Listen to each sentence, then pause and repeat it out loud. Shadow my rhythm and my stress. I will use present simple to talk about a typical day. Simple morning sentences. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock. Now you. Sometimes I wake up earlier, around 6:30, when I have a lot to do. Now you. If I sleep late, I feel tired in the morning. Now you. I stay in bed for a few minutes and think about my day. Now you. I take a deep breath and stretch my arms and legs. Now you. Then I sit up slowly and get out of bed. Now you. I walk to the bathroom and brush my teeth. Now you. I brush my teeth carefully for 2 minutes. Now you. Then I wash my face with cold water. It helps me feel awake. Now you. Sometimes I take a quick shower if I feel sleepy. Now you. When I shower, I like to play soft music or listen to English audio. Now you. After my shower, I dry off and put on my clothes. Now you. I try to wear something clean and comfortable. Now you. If I have an important meeting or class, I wear something more formal. Now you. Next, I go to the kitchen and prepare my breakfast. Now you. I usually eat something simple, like toast, eggs, and fruit. Now you. Sometimes I have cereal with milk and a banana. Now you. If I have more time, I make oatmeal or an omelet. Now you. I like to eat slowly so I can enjoy my food. Now you. I drink coffee most mornings. Sometimes I drink green tea instead. Now you. While I eat, I sometimes watch a short video or check the news on my phone. Now you. Other days, I just enjoy the quiet and listen to the sounds outside. Now you. Before I leave the house, I check my phone. Now you. I look at the time and read my messages. Now you. I check my calendar to see if I have any meetings or appointments. Now you. I pack my bag with everything I need. My phone, my wallet, my notebook, and my water bottle. Now you. Then I put on my shoes, open the door, and go outside. Now you. Story: Jamie's weekday morning. Now I will tell you a short story about my typical weekday morning. Listen once, then listen again and shadow each sentence. You can pause after every line. Let's begin. On a normal weekday, I usually wake up at around 7 o'clock. Sometimes I wake up a little earlier if I have many things to do. I lie in bed for a minute or two and think about the day. I stretch my arms and legs, yawn once or twice, and then I sit up slowly. After that, I stand up and walk to the bathroom. I brush my teeth for 2 full minutes. I try to brush every part of my teeth carefully. Then I wash my face with cold water. The cold water helps me feel fresh and awake. If I still feel sleepy, I take a warm shower. I often listen to relaxing music or a slow English podcast while I shower. This helps me feel calm and focused before the day really starts. After the shower, I dry off and put on clean clothes. I check my appearance quickly in the mirror to make sure I look ready for the day. Next, I go into the kitchen and start making breakfast. On most days, I toast 2 slices of bread and eat them with butter or jam. I often add an egg, either boiled or fried. I drink 1 large cup of coffee. Coffee is very important to me in the morning. While I eat, I like to sit near the window. Sometimes I look outside and see people walking to work or school. On some mornings, I hear birds singing, and I enjoy the peaceful moment. Before I leave the house, I check my phone 1 more time. I look at the time, my to-do list, and my schedule for the day. Then I prepare my bag. I make sure I have my phone, my wallet, my notebook, a pen, and sometimes a small snack. Finally, I put on my jacket and shoes, open the door, and step outside to begin my day. Now you can go back, pause after each sentence, and shadow the whole story. Part 4. The afternoon. Work, study, or home. Now let's move to the afternoon, the middle part of the day. Many people are busy in the afternoon. Some go to work, some go to school or university, some stay at home, some take care of children or family. Even if you are busy, the afternoon is a good time to use English. You can listen while you walk or travel. You can repeat short sentences. You can think about your day in English. Let's practice some common afternoon sentences. Listen, then shadow. Simple afternoon sentences. After lunch, I go back to work. Now you. Sometimes I feel a little sleepy after I eat. Now you. I check my emails and answer the important ones first. Now you. I often read messages from coworkers or classmates. Now you. I usually have 1 or 2 meetings in the afternoon. Now you. Sometimes I meet with a client or my manager to talk about my tasks. Now you. If I work from home, I sit at my desk and open my laptop. Now you. I type reports or prepare presentations. Now you. I also look at my calendar to see what I need to do next. Now you. I like to keep my desk clean and organized. It helps me think clearly. Now you. I usually take a short break around 3 o'clock. Now you. I make a cup of tea or drink some water. Now you. Sometimes I eat a small snack like fruit or a biscuit. Now you. If I have time, I go for a short walk to get fresh air. Now you. Even 10 minutes outside helps me feel better. Now you. If the weather is nice, I walk around the block or sit in the sun for a moment. Now you. When I have free time in the afternoon, I like to study English. Now you. Sometimes I listen to a podcast while I walk. Now you. I also watch slow English videos to help with listening. Now you. I repeat short phrases out loud to practice speaking. Now you. Shadowing helps me speak more naturally and clearly. Now you. Before I finish work for the day, I write down what I did today. Now you. This helps me stay organized and ready for tomorrow. Now you. Sometimes I write one new English word that I learned today. Now you. I like to review my English notebook before I stop for the day. Now you. Story, Jamie's afternoon. Now I will tell you a story about my afternoon. Listen, then shadow each sentence. Pause after each line to repeat. After lunch, I usually go back to my desk to continue working. First, I check my emails again and answer any new messages. Then, I write a simple to-do list for the rest of the afternoon. I often have a video meeting with my team. In the meeting, we talk about what we finished in the morning and what we plan to do next. The meetings are usually short, about 30 minutes. After the meeting, I take a short break. I walk to the kitchen and make a cup of tea or black coffee. I drink it slowly while I stand near the window. Sometimes I step outside for a few minutes of fresh air. If I have some free time, I use it to study English. I usually listen to a podcast like this one or read a short story online. Sometimes I watch a video where the speaker talks slowly and clearly. I pause the video and repeat the sentences out loud. This is called shadowing. Shadowing helps me speak more naturally and understand English better. Before I finish work for the day, I write down a short summary of what I did. I also write one sentence in English to describe how I feel. For example, I finished all my work today and I feel proud. Or, I didn't study much today, but I will try again tomorrow. This small habit helps me reflect, stay motivated, and improve my English step by step. Your turn. Talk about your afternoon. Now it's your turn. You can pause this lesson for a moment and try to talk about your afternoon just like I did. Think. What do you usually do after lunch? Do you go to work? Do you go to class? Do you stay at home and rest or study? You don't need a long story. 3 or 4 simple sentences are enough. The goal is to speak, not to be perfect. To help you, I will give you some sentence starters. You can complete them in your own words. Listen, then pause and finish the sentence. In the afternoon, I usually. After lunch, I like to. Sometimes I feel. I usually take a break at. Before the afternoon ends, I. You can record yourself and listen back. This is a powerful way to hear your progress. Part 6. Evening and night. Now let's move to the evening and night. Evening is often a time to relax, spend time with family or friends, do hobbies, review your day, and prepare for tomorrow. Let's practice some useful evening sentences. Shadow after me. I come home around 6 o'clock in the evening. Now you. I take off my shoes and sit down for a few minutes to rest. Now you. Sometimes I turn on some music to relax. Now you. Sometimes I watch the news or a short video. Now you. Then I prepare dinner or order food if I feel very tired. Now you. I usually eat dinner at the table with my family or housemates. Now you. We talk about our day and share small stories. Now you. After dinner, I clean the kitchen and wash the dishes. Now you. Sometimes I go for a short walk after dinner. Now you. I like to walk slowly and think about my day. Now you. Before bed, I often read a book or listen to calming music. Now you. I take a shower and brush my teeth. Now you. I try to go to bed around 10:30 or 11 o'clock. Now you. If I use my phone at night, I try not to use it too long. Now you. I like to write a few lines in my diary before I sleep. Now you. Sometimes I write in English about my day. Now you. After that, I turn off the light, close my eyes, and go to sleep. Now you. 3 types of evenings. Extra practice. Let's practice 3 different kinds of evenings. A relaxing evening, a busy social evening, and a productive study evening. 1. Relaxing evening. listen, and shadow. This evening is very quiet. I come home, change into comfortable clothes, and make a cup of tea. I sit on the sofa and watch a light TV show or a movie. I don't want to think too much. I just want to relax. Later, I take a warm shower and put on my pajamas. Before bed, I read a few pages of a simple book. I feel calm and ready to sleep. 2. Busy social evening. Now a different evening. Shadow again. Tonight is busy and social. After work, I meet my friends at a restaurant. We talk, laugh, and share food together. Sometimes we try a new place or a new type of food. After dinner, we walk around the city and take some photos. I come home a little later than usual, but I feel happy because I spent time with people I like. 3. Productive study evening. And now a study evening. Shadow. On some evenings, I focus on learning. After dinner, I open my notebook and my English textbook. I review new words and practice example sentences. I listen to a slow English podcast and shadow the speaker. I pause the audio, repeat the sentences, and record my voice. Then I listen to my recording and try to improve my pronunciation. Even if I only study for 20 or 30 minutes, I feel proud because I am moving forward. You can choose which type of evening is most like your life, or you can talk about all three on different days. Part 6. Weekdays versus weekends. Now let's learn to talk about weekdays and weekends. We often use present simple for routines. On weekdays, I usually. On weekends, I often. Shadow some examples. On weekdays, I wake up at 7 and go to work. On weekends, I usually wake up later, around 9 or 10. On weekdays, my mornings are busy and fast. On weekends, my mornings are slow and relaxed. On Saturdays, I often do housework, like cleaning and laundry. On Sundays, I sometimes meet friends or visit my family. On weekends, I have more time for my hobbies. Sometimes I go to the park, read books, or watch movies. Sometimes I go to a cafe and study English. Now make your own. You can use these sentence starters. On weekdays, I usually. On weekends, I often. On Saturdays, I. On Sundays, I. Pause the audio, speak out loud, and describe your weekends. Part 7. Talking about yesterday, past simple. So far, we talked about a typical day using present simple. I wake up, I go, I eat. Now, let's talk about yesterday using past simple. I woke up, I went, I ate. I will say a present sentence, then a past sentence. Shadow both and feel the difference. I wake up at 7. Yesterday, I woke up at 7. I go to work by bus. Yesterday, I went to work by bus. I eat breakfast at home. Yesterday, I ate breakfast at home. I have a meeting at 10. Yesterday, I had a meeting at 10. I come home at 6. Yesterday, I came home at 6. I watch TV in the evening. Yesterday, I watched TV in the evening. I study English at night. Yesterday, I studied English at night. Now, a short story about yesterday. Shadow after me. Yesterday was a normal day. I woke up at 7 o'clock. I got out of bed and went to the bathroom. I brushed my teeth and took a quick shower. Then I made breakfast and drank a cup of coffee. After breakfast, I checked my emails and prepared my things for work. I left the house at 8 o'clock and took the bus to the office. At work, I answered emails, had a meeting with my team, and finished an important report. I had lunch around 1 o'clock with a coworker. In the afternoon, I felt a little tired, so I took a short break and drank some tea. After work, I went to the supermarket and bought some groceries. I came home at about 6:30. I cooked a simple dinner, ate while watching a short video, and then washed the dishes. In the evening, I studied English for 20 minutes. I listened to a podcast and shadowed the speaker. Finally, I read a few pages of a book and went to bed around 11 o'clock. Now it's your turn. Pause the audio and talk about yesterday. What time did you wake up? What did you eat for breakfast? Where did you go? What did you do in the afternoon? What did you do in the evening? What time did you go to bed? Try to make at least 5 past sentences. Part 8. Useful questions about your day. To have a conversation, you need questions too. Here are some easy questions you can ask other people about their day. Shadow the questions. What time do you usually wake up? What do you normally eat for breakfast? How do you go to work or school? What do you do in the morning? What do you usually do after lunch? Do you work or study in the afternoon? What time do you finish work or class? What do you do in the evening? How do you relax after a busy day? What time do you usually go to bed? What did you do yesterday? How was your day today? You can practice like this. Ask yourself the question in English. Answer it in English. For example, question: what time do you usually wake up? Answer: I usually wake up at 6:30 on weekdays and at 8 on weekends. Part 9. Sample conversations. Now, let's listen to some short dialogues about daily routines. You can first listen, then listen again and shadow the person you prefer. Dialogue 1. Small talk at work. Hey, how's your day going? It's going pretty well, thanks. I was busy this morning. What did you do? I had a meeting at 9 and then I answered a lot of emails. That sounds like a full morning. Yes, it was. How about you? My morning was quiet. I worked on a report and drank a lot of coffee. Nice. Do you have plans for this evening? Nothing special. I'll probably cook dinner and watch a movie. Sounds relaxing. You can now choose A or B and shadow all of their lines. Dialogue 2. Meeting a new friend. Hi, I'm Jamie. What's your name? Hi, Jamie. I'm Alex. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Alex. So, what do you do on a normal day? On weekdays, I work at an office. I usually start at 9 and finish at 5. And how is your typical morning? I wake up at 7, have a quick breakfast, and then take the train to work. Do you study English every day? I try to. I listen to English podcasts on the train and read short articles in the evening. That's a great habit. Thanks. What about you? How do you practice English? I listen to English Pro and I shadow the lessons while I walk. Again, pick A or B and shadow that person's part. Dialogue 3. Talking on the phone about your day. Hey, how was your day today? It was okay, a bit busy. What did you do this morning? I woke up early, went for a short run, and then had breakfast. Nice. And in the afternoon? I worked from home, had 2 meetings, and wrote some reports. Did you do anything fun in the evening? Yes, I cooked dinner and watched a funny show. I also studied English for 20 minutes. Sounds like a good day. Yeah, it was. How was your day? You can pause here and answer the last question about your own day. Part 10. Build your own daily routine story. Now you have many examples. Let's build your own story. We will use a simple structure. Morning, afternoon, evening, and night. I will give you sentence frames. You can fill them with your own words. Morning. Your turn. Repeat the frame, then add your idea. In the morning, I wake up at, first I, then I, after that I, before I leave the house I. For example, in the morning, I usually wake up at 6:30. First, I check my phone, then I go to the bathroom and wash my face. After that, I make coffee and a small breakfast. Before I leave the house, I check that I have my keys and my wallet. Now make your own. Afternoon, your turn. Use these frames. In the afternoon, I usually, after lunch, sometimes I feel, I often, I take a break at, before the afternoon ends, example. In the afternoon, I usually go back to work. After lunch, I answer emails and have a meeting. Sometimes I feel a bit sleepy, so I drink tea. I often listen to English while I work. Before the afternoon ends, I write a list for tomorrow. Now make your own. Evening and night. Your turn. In the evening, I usually, after I come home, for dinner, after dinner, before bed, I usually go to sleep at around, example. In the evening, I usually relax. After I come home, I change my clothes and rest for a few minutes. For dinner, I cook something simple or order food. After dinner, I watch a series or read a book. Before bed, I brush my teeth and write a few lines in my diary. I usually go to sleep at around 11. Now build your own complete story. Morning, afternoon, evening. You can speak it out loud or write it in a notebook and then read it. Part 11. How to practice every day. Here are some simple ways to keep improving your English with your daily routine. Morning reflection. When you wake up, think in English. What will I do today? Say 2 or 3 sentences out loud. Evening review. At night, tell yourself the story of your day in English. Talk for 1 or 2 minutes. Voice recording. Use your phone to record yourself talking about your day. Listen to the recording and notice your progress. Shadowing with English Pro Space. Listen to this lesson again. Pause after each sentence and shadow my voice. Try to copy my rhythm and pronunciation. Daily diary. Write a short diary in English. Just 3 or 4 sentences about your day. Use simple words. Do it every day. Over time, you will see a big change. You will speak more smoothly. You will remember more words. You will feel more confident. Today on English Pro Space, you learned how to talk about your morning, afternoon, and evening, practiced present simple for a typical day, practiced past simple for yesterday, repeated and shadowed many useful sentences, built your own daily routine story. You are not just studying English, you are using English. You are living in English, 1 sentence at a time. Come back to this lesson many times. Listen again. Shadow again. Each time, add more details to your story. This is English Pro Space. I'm Jamie, and I'm proud of your effort. Keep listening, keep speaking, keep believing in yourself. Bye for now.